Driving, right? They break down the problem and help navigate and basically help you out.
All right, so I'll navigate and you drive.
Okay. So let me. All right, so I'm gonna find a coding challenge. So basically, let me paste the link first. Let me find one. So I've been doing 8Q for the most part. Until I reach 500 points. So I'm at 392 right now.
Okay.
And that's what I'm gonna do. So pick out an 8. Give me 1 sec. Katas I have not trained on. 8. I've been doing a lot with arrays, so I'm gonna pick that as a filter. I'm going to just go with the first one. I'm gonna copy the link and send it to you. It's gonna be right here. You see it?
Yep.
All right, so that's the link. Did you have a certain problem-solving technique or some strategy that you use or implement when you do these things?
Well, when we were talking before, I was teaching Python, so I was like fucking fresh with the programming. Right now, I'm teaching AWS, so I haven't programmed in like maybe like I haven't coded. Like I've been just fucking launching servers, and connecting, and configuring crap.
Nice. IT.
More than I have. Yeah, exactly. More than I have been coding. So
nice.
As far as like strategies that are like for now, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna do my best. I don't have any particular strategy in mind.
Okay, cool. All right, so this one's called. I'm gonna read it out loud and kind of break it down inside VS Code, but I have it pulled up in front of me. So this is called.
Wait, this problem is I love you a little, a lot, passively, not at all.
Correct. Right. So it is an AQ, and so yeah, I'm gonna just read out loud. So it says, who remembers back to their time in the schoolyard when girls would take a flower and tear its petals, saying each of the following phrases each time a petal was torn. Tear one, it says, I love you, a little, a lot, passionately, madly, not at all. I never had that done to me, but okay. When the last petal was torn, there were cries of excitement, dreams, surging thoughts, and emotions. Your goal in this kata is to determine which phrase the girl would say for you, say for a flower of a given number of petals where NB_petals is greater than 0. So here I'm gonna examine the sample test they have. So for example, actually I'm gonna just write it here. Okay, so let me start. I'm gonna go back to VS Code and just start breaking this down. So the way I've been doing it is like this 3-step process. So I have an input, whatever's going in, whatever data is going in. The process would be like the pseudocode, edge cases, and then whatever the output is, like the return statement, basically. All right, so I'll just put edge cases. I'll just put edge case for now. All right, so all right, so it says here you have a list of possibilities. So let me just copy this. So I'm gonna just start just notes, right? So I'm gonna just put notes here. So you have these phrases, right? I love you, all these good stuff here, right? So when I think of this, I think of it as a list of something. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, we have when the petal was last torn, there were cries of excitement, dreams, and surging thoughts and emotions. Okay, so your goal in this kata is to determine which phrase the girl would say for a flower of a given number of petals. So so we get, for this input, we get an integer, right, which will be 7. So now I pulled out this 7 from the sample test that they give us. And in this case, the return statement and the output here would be I love you. So I'm assuming that there's a list here of some sort. Actually, you know what? Let me just delete
you know where it is?
What was that?
Can I give my input?
Yeah, go ahead. You can interrupt anytime, bro. Just
okay. Are you like so what I think is So this is what I think, right? Flowers, petals in the flower are very circular, right? And basically, you know, the more petals you have, you kind of break it out in a circular fashion, right? It's not like every flower has exactly 7 petals or 6 petals. So I think what might be occurring here is that the pattern repeats itself after the 6th petal. So it'll go, I love you a little, right? The next petal a lot, the next petal passionately, the next petal madly, the next petal not at all, right? And then instead of basically ending, because flowers are in a circular fashion, it kind of starts over at I love you. So now I'm gonna go I love you. And then when I think of that circular pattern, I think of a certain operator in programming that allows us to kind of work with remainders in order to simulate a rotation or a circular pattern of some sort.
Okay. Feel free to type that in here, like things to consider.
Oh, all right. Say no more. My bad. Got you.
So you're saying like some sort of iterator? You want to like loop over this list of phrases?
Yes. So.
Okay.
My bad. I thought I'm eating these pistachio.
Ooh.
All right. So
protein.
They're just so addictive. All right. So when I think of a flower, of petals in a flower, I think of the fact that those petals are in circular form. When I think circular, so like for example, there are 6, 6 phrases total. So every 6 petals is a full rotation of phrases. Okay. If you reach, or like the way I see it is like, just like a petal, just like with a petal, if you have more than 6, you would keep going and start the phrases over from the top.
Okay.
So this makes me think of a certain conditional. Is it conditional? Is it a conditional? No, it's an arithmetic. A certain operator that returns a remainder, which helps us simulate this circular pattern. Oh, come on.
Yeah, that autofill. Cool.
Okay. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah. So what I'm getting is that we have some sort of list of phrases, and because there's a number that's greater than the total length of list, that we must continue to like iterate over until we reach that number. In this case, it'd be 7, and whatever
exactly.
Whatever that falls on, which in this case is I love you, which I do love you, others, but in a friendly way.
Little passionately, madly.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, it basically returns I love you. So yeah, that makes sense. So you're saying this makes think of a certain that returns a remainder. So you're thinking about, because when I think about the word remainder, I think about the modulus. That's when exactly what I think about here. All right, so you said so your suggestion is some sort of implementation of a some modular in there with some arithmetic involved, and we can like kind of eventually pointing at I love you as the final answer.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So definitely. So as far as I get that, that's cool. I'm definitely gonna keep that in mind, and would like to definitely implement that piece into the code. So what I wanted to think about next was how to formulate or if we're gonna formulate this in some sort of like data structure, like it's gonna be like an array. Are we gonna put it in an array of, or actually, let me see. How is it given to us? Is it given to us in the coding challenge? I don't think it's given to us as far as like what kind of like.
I mean, so I think that this is the cool part about solving problems, is that you can kind of be creative with how you want to contain your data.
Yeah.
So we actually have, I think that the definite, so the definite, a definite good way to contain these values are going to be in an array.
Nice, yeah. I'm kind of listing that out right now.
Because it looks like, my thought process is that it looks like that we're going to be working with a sequence of data, or a sequence of elements, or a sequence of phrases. And something that I know can hold a sequence of values is an array.
Yes. So let's call this, hope I'm spelling this right, phrases. Okay, I agree. So just gonna put that there for now, just to have some reference here. So we agreed to agree that an array would be the proper, at least one of the one option that we can go with as far as like containing this in the data structure. That makes sense. So we get, I'm just trying to visualize this, right? We get input 7, right? Just throw that up here again. That comes in. So basically we need to iterate starting here at 0 and just kind of keep moving along the way, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this goes back to 7 and ends up at I love you, right? So things to consider. Yes, a remainder definitely be something to look at, and then obviously some sort of loop would be let me just add to your notes here. I'm just gonna go with a regular for loop. I'm just gonna write that down, so keep that in mind to iterate over this list. We keep it a little slicker with it and do some fancy like map or for each, but I think that's kind of heavy for what we're trying to do. Or we can refactor later and do that. So yeah, I think is there anything else you want to point out as far as like anything to consider, or anything you realize about this?
Well, so far I think we're doing perfectly. I think that we've contained the data in an array. We have extracted the iterations that we need. I do think that we will need one more iteration after that 5 though.
Okay.
So I think it's gonna go 0 to 6, and now basically. So now I want to think about, okay, so let's say that we can. So as you were saying a for loop might go well. I agree with you. I think that maybe we could proceed with the for loop.
And cool, yeah. So let's. So one thing that came up now, I'm just gonna put this in here, is, and I'm thinking about like how do I, when we iterate through this thing, right? In the for loop, when we have our condition to say like iterate over this loop at the list.length. So when you get to the end, it usually stops, but we need to like say something like continue to go.
Yeah.
Right. So like
don't end.
Like come back here to the beginning.
Right. That's exactly what I was trying to get at when I was saying circular.
Circular,
right?
Yeah. So how do we have a loop continue? And I know there's like some keywords out there we can use. Like I know the for loop has the continue keyword. I don't know if that's going to do it, but something that you could probably help me with.
I got you.
Yeah.
I think that it might not be necessary to use the continue keyword, but I do understand why you are thinking of it, and the reason you're thinking of it is actually very valid, because you do understand that in any case where there are more than 6 petals, we need to kind of start counting again from the beginning.
Yeah.
So you want to have something there that allows the loop to understand, continue, don't stop.
Right. Bet. All right. So before I get to the pseudocode, I think I don't have any other questions. I think I'm pretty clear as to what to do. At least like I understand the question what they're asking me. So are you cool with like just start writing like kind of like the steps in the process, like what to do next, like the actual pseudocode?
Absolutely. So would you like me to write that like right here?
All right, bet. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and so create a variable, which I kind of did up there, and I'm just gonna call it phrases, right, and that's gonna have a list of all phrases, right? And then what else? So we have this, that's the main thing. Our other input is just the petals. So the petals is the only thing that's being inputted. Oh, number of petals. Okay, so next is, oops, in the wrong spots. Here we go. So next I need to iterate through the list, right? And while I'm iterating, I'm going to do some abstraction. I'm gonna just create another, I was gonna say variable, not another, called current flower, right? That's just for me, just so I can read it out loud, just for readability purposes. Like I don't like doing the whole list bracket I. It's just confusing for me. From like I can't read it that well. So I'm gonna abstract out the current variable, and then I'm going to well, actually wait, before I even get there, the big question is when I loop over it, is I'm gonna init, right, at 0, the 0 index, right? I think that's important to note because that's the big question. This is a partner you're helping, right? And then the condition is going to be, what is that? That's the big question, right? Because I want to loop over this thing, this list, but I don't want it to stop at the end of the length. I want it to keep going, right?
Yeah.
So this is what kind of need. I don't know. I'm gonna pass the ball to you. Do you have any suggestions on that part? Because I'm also thinking about it out loud. But feel free to like chime in if you have any.
Absolutely. I do actually. I think I might have a great idea as to what the condition should be.
Go ahead, fill it in.
Let me take a quick think of it. So, what I'm thinking is we need some sort of like basically what are we checking here? We're checking a few values. So the number of petals, which in this case is indicated by NB petals in the input. So I'm gonna kind of write it like that. Or I guess I could write it in English. Right, num of petals. All right, that's information that's given to us. And what we have to figure out is we have to compare the number of petals to a certain fixed number that we can work with. And that fixed number that we can work with is 6. So what does 6 represent? 6 represents the number of petals.
Okay.
Oh,
7, right? Is this
were there 7 petals? I love you. Whatever amount of phrases.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the input. My bad.
Yeah, my bad. So the number of petals is always going to vary, but the number of phrases, so num of phrases, right, is always going to be 6, right? Because that's how the pattern goes. And this you've actually already tackled right here in your first part of your process, which when you said I'm going to create a list that contains all my phrases, your list is going to be of size 6 guaranteed because there are only 6 phrases.
Right.
And now since I have a number that I know is like it's a fixed number and I have the number of petals, well, this fixed number represents like, every single time I say a phrase, and the petal represents my limit. Okay, so I'm basically kind of working with my limit of the number of petals, right? Because if I have 3 petals, I'm going to be saying, I love you, a little, a lot, end of story, right? If I have anywhere between 1 and 6 petals, it'll just be an easy iteration of the list. But the minute you go above 6, you need to figure out what you're going to do about it, right? Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? That means that if the number of petals is greater than the number of phrases, right? You need to kind of think about what are you going to do. So for example, if number of petals was, let's say 7, like it was in that example, and the number of phrases is always going to be 6, okay? What relationship does 7 and 6 have that could potentially bring me back to the beginning of my list?
Yeah, it's the difference between both numbers. The remainder. Yeah. I see where you're going with this.
Yes, nice. I like that, right?
So that begs the idea of like I don't probably need to even iterate through any of this. I could just, like you suggested in the notes above, you said, you could just focus on the remainder, just do the arithmetic between the two numbers and just grab the value in the array of whatever, like
exactly. So what is that number like basically we're trying to make a one-to-one mapping between the petal and the phrases. Right. The petal is the number they give us, and the phrases are the individual items in our list.
Right. So
you got in mind.
Yeah. That's definitely a great observation. That's amazing. And I also am thinking now that I initially thought about iterating over a list, but we can refactor this later. But just something to think about, that we can actually compose this in an object, a hash map, whatever you want to call it. We can do that too, because we don't have to. Usually, when I use arrays, it's for like some sort of iteration purposes.
I think an array is perfect for this use case. I'm not that crazy with hash maps yet.
Okay, cool. All right, so then with that being said, I'm gonna just comment out for now is the iteration through the list, and just forget the init part, because that was for the actual loop itself, and the condition part is gonna be the actual math here. So I don't need this part anymore because that was for the for loop. I'm gonna just try this without even doing a for loop. So I'm gonna say, right, so you have the condition, number of petals, that makes sense. Number of phrases is 6, and then do a condition here. So I'm gonna start, actually, I feel comfortable with this. I feel like this should be it right here, and just start coding the thing out and run it and test it, because I feel like that's gonna work.
Awesome.
Boom. So we have, let me get the list of phrases here. Let me call this phrases. Put that back over here. Man, let me just copy it up here because I'm not trying to write this again. Boom. And can I tag on that length here? I think I can. That should give me the number, right? Because that's what we need. Actually, you know what? Let me keep that there just for now, and I'll just number of, we can change this later, but just so it can be hella clear. Equals phrases dot length, that'll be the number to use. And what else do we need? We have petals, right? MB petals coming in. And then we're gonna say here, but this is only if the number is, it'll always be the case, whether it's larger, it's greater than 6 or less than 6, that remainder is gonna point us in the right indices. I guess I can try it out. Let me just try it out. So if NB petals is greater than number of phrases, and here we're going to just do the remainder. So I need the remainder here somewhere, right? Or what happens when it's not greater? We can try that later. All right. I'm gonna put that up here. They want a number back. They want Oh, the actual phrase, right? So I'm just gonna call the actual phrase. Actually, never mind. You know what? We have the array up here of phrases. What is it? Where's the modulus thing at? Right. I'm gonna call this. What the fuck do I call this? I call it remainder, I guess. Or point phrase to capture, I guess. I don't know, I'm bad with these names. So, all right, in theory, this is gonna leave me with some remainder, right? And then what I can do is just for now log out. I can say phrases and then pass by reference is the number left over here. And in theory, this should log out. I think I love you, but we'll see. All right, let me just run the test to see how that's gonna look. And I'm very sure we can shorten that up, but let's just see how it works out. Okay, so MB pedals in this case is gonna be 7, right? Let me comment all this stuff out. Do you have access to the console?
When you say the console, do you mean on GitWars, on CodeWars?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
The terminal. Okay.
Yeah, the terminal, my bad. I just gave you access. Yeah. You see me typing?
Yep, I see you typing.
I bet. So let me go into the right folder real quick. All right, I'm gonna run this. All right, so it gave me a little. All right, so I'm going to.
For what number? You passed it.
7, yeah.
Okay, and the little was the second one. That's actually a good thing. I don't think you have to change. Don't do too much. Put it back to how it was when you ran it just now.
Yeah, I'm just logging it out. I'm just logging out. What does phrase to capture print out when it does it? It's like modulus when it does the actual thing.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Okay. Good call. Good call.
It gives me 1. Okay.
Exactly. So what do you think the issue is?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, and that's which one is that? So I need to say. Do I always need to say -1 here to go back 1?
Hold on. I'm gonna put a note on the things to consider section.
Okay.
When I scroll up on the VS Code, does that scroll you up as well?
Sometimes it does, and it doesn't, but right now it isn't. So
okay, yeah. It's not. That's all right. So I'm just gonna see if I can find it. Things to consider. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and create another comment here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, arrays start at 0.
Yeah.
And number of petals is greater than 0. You consider offsetting the petals each instance you get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you're just writing what I just did, or is this a suggestion?
You literally did it, and I just wanted to make sure because.
Oh, okay.
Try running it now.
I bet. Give me a sec.
You pretty much are gonna get it. I can sense it.
All right, let's see. So, I love you came out as a thing. All right, so this should print out. I love you, but let's just run some other test cases. I'm going to do a number that's less than 6 and see what happens. All right, so 4 should give me 1, 2, 3. Should give me passionately, right?
Where did you you put in 4 and the result came out?
It hasn't come out yet. I'm just theorizing right now.
Oh yeah, if it was 4, it should be the 5th item. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it should be passionately.
Okay.
No. It should be madly. 0 is I love you. 1 is a little. 2 is a lot. 3 is passionately. 4 is madly.
But no, when they pass in the number, it's actual like the actual, not the indices, the actual like length.
Like this is the number of petals.
Yeah, so like for example,
actually, so it should be passionately. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I just want to make sure actually. I'm back at the CodeWars. They passed in 3 and they got a lot. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm gonna run this. It's saved. It's not saved, but let me run it. My bad. I need to run that again. Node. My bad. Here it is. Oh, let me comment out this one. So I got undefined.
Because I think it's because you're console logging the function. Oh, you did that above too.
Yeah, because we're saying if only we didn't capture anything that says what happens if it's less than.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay, well, this is a very so you already. I think you know what to do. What would you like a thing? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, give me a suggestion.
I mean, I want to let you run the course. I don't, but okay. Basically, you have the condition set for if it's greater than the number of petals. This next condition is actually going to be a lot easier because if you're not if you have enough petals as the number of items in the list, you just have to literally pop the correct one. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think we need this part, right? Because I think it's less than. But let's see. Oops, what happened? Breaks the catcher is not defined. Is not defined?
I guess because phrase to capture is made in a block scope in the if block.
Oh yes, up here.
Else block. So you have to just put the actual formula, or yeah, you could just copy the variable again.
I could throw this.
Yeah, you can literally just throw the MB petals modular number of phrases
on top,
inside.
Right?
I know you don't like that though. Go ahead, do what you gotta do because for readability purposes, it is better to do this.
Okay, hold on. Phrase MB petals. I mean, I could just throw it up top, right? Because there's nothing that's scoped. Everything is scoped up here.
That's incredibly. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah, right.
And now it's outside of the 2 scopes, and you should be good. That was very good.
All right, so I got madly. That's not what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
I wanted. Okay, so I guess I have to keep. That's right, because it's.
Exactly.
Yeah. I always forget that. Yeah, passionately. All right, so yeah. Thanks for pointing that out, because I always forget the length is always like the array starts at 0. Kind of slips the mind a little bit sometimes. All right, bet. So this should be. Let me go back to CodeWars to make sure that there's nothing else we're missing. It looks like, so they have hidden tests, so they may throw us for a loop with some like weird numbers, like what happens if we get thrown a 0 in there.
Okay, do you know what you would do? We could solve that right now. What are we gonna do?
Let's see.
Well, they did say that it's gonna be greater than 0, so I don't think that they're gonna give you an input where it is 0.
Oh, okay, so yeah, you're right. The constraint is there. So flower give a number of petals where MB is greater than 0. So all right, we don't have to worry about it. So I'm not even gonna go down that road. All right, so I'm gonna do is clean this up a little bit and then run it in CodeWars to see if we pass all the tests.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so I'm gonna just hit return here. Gotta bounce us out. And then clean this up a little bit and boom, take that out. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna paste this in, and I want to kind of refactor this a little bit and use a different. I want to use the ternary operator to cut this down to one line.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
But so I'm gonna copy all this, bro, and put this in CodeWars, and feel free to do the same if you want to see if it passes.
Okay.
So I pasted it in, hit the test, failed. So we failed a test.
They tell you which test it was? What was the input?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out. It says phrases to capture. Let me do some logging. Actually, what number? MB pedals. It doesn't give me the number, but I'm gonna add a console.log on top in here because that's the kind of way to get around that. Because like they give you these hidden tests, but they don't give you the input. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird. Like they
what could it possibly be? Is my question.
Yeah. So this is what I added, line 55 in there. So when I run the test, it can print out what they're passing for MB pedals.
Oh, nice. Okay, good move.
Let me just make a note of that here. Boom. We do the same over here just to be. There we go. I'm gonna run it. So the test that failed was. Wait, what? We failed. Expected undefined to equal not. Oh.
Expected undefined to equal what?
Not at all. Maybe.
So you got undefined?
Yeah, for I'm trying to distinguish which integer.
Oh, you know what it is? I think. Oh no, you do have return. Never mind. I was gonna say you don't have the keyword return, but you do. Why the hell is it bringing back undefined instead of?
Let me try something just for kicks. I'm gonna do. Just give me a sec here. I'm gonna just do one thing here. She loves me or something. She loves me. I'm just being silly right now. Alright. Right. And I'm gonna say I'm just curious to know if this has anything to do with it. It probably doesn't, but I'm just curious, yeah. And then I'm gonna go outside here and just return that. And copy this and paste this in. Very sure that's no different. But... Okay, same thing. All right, definitely didn't make any changes. Are you getting the same results when you paste it in?
I'm trying to do the solution in Python, but I'll go ahead and I'll copy this one, the JS one.
Gotcha.
Okay. Boom.
I mean, feel free to like write it in the VS Code too, bro, so we can see it.
Oh, all right. Say no more. Oh, I got you. Okay. So this is what I got so far. So this is the function. So very similar to JS, okay? It's instead of the word function, they have the word def. This is the function name, how much I love you, and the parameters NB pedals. This is just straight from CodeWars. Because this is not Python, can we make another file and still be in the same like file share?
No, unfortunately, no.
Okay. So then it's fine. No worry. It's gonna give us a bunch of like red lint or whatever because it's not JS, but
it's all good.
We'll probably do one of these and finesse that. And then so this is the array. Okay. So unlike JavaScript with Python, you don't even have to put any keywords. You just throw the damn name and it's good. Okay, so in JavaScript you might need a keyword, but my array contains all the values of the phrases, and then num phrases is just a variable containing the length of the array called phrases with my phrases. And here I was just giving myself a note saying that if the number of petals minus 1 is greater than, and since I have some space here, the number of phrases, then run, and I was just writing this formula.
Gotcha.
That's where I was looking.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I was gonna run the NP petals minus 1 modulus. It's very similar to your algorithm. So that's why I'm trying to see what could have possibly been the issue. But NP petals minus 1 is going to represent the petals against the number of phrases. And what am I saying? That if the number of petals minus 1, which is this, so basically that's what I'm doing. If the number of phrases, the number of petals minus 1 is greater than the number of phrases, oh, so I have to do that. Okay, then I'm gonna do something about it. What am I gonna do about that? Then I'm gonna run a certain formula. So that formula was gonna be number of petals minus 1 modulus number of phrases. All right, so I'll put that here. That's NB petals minus 1 modulus num phrases. Okay, so that's going to give me some value. Let's just say that value is going to be the solution. What does that represent? The index. Okay, the index that I want. Okay, that's going to give me the index that I want, and after I have the index that I want, I'm going to return phrases at that index. And in any other case, I'm just going to return straight up, because in any other case it means that the petal, there's less petals, right? There's less petals or equal petals to the phrases. And if that's the case, I'm just going to return phrases at this index right here.
Okay.
All right. So now that would be the Python code. Now let me see what happens if I throw this code onto the thing.
So one thing I noticed that so I did find the integer that's throwing the error, which is the 6. That's and like, and the return value is undefined, so it could be like I'm returning it the wrong way or whatever. But while you're doing that, I'm gonna run this too in here and VS Code just to see what we get. This one right here, line 75.
I bet I'm gonna test. Yep, say no more. I'll let you know what I got from this thing.
All right. Let me comment out the rest of your stuff because it's gonna throw an error.
You good? Oh yes, that.
All right. So it's throwing undefined. So I don't think the algorithm is wrong. I think just the way we're returning it is probably not the right way. Whatever reason.
That's what I was thinking as well. It's that undefined. So what I'll do now is I'll run a quick search, and I'll see what's up with that.
Hold up. I think our algorithm is correct because it's when we log it out, it works just fine. For some reason, I don't know why it's not. Let me go back to the CodeWars. It wants a string, but yeah, that's what I'm.
Okay, so when I click on why am I getting undefined, it says that a variable that has not been assigned a value is of type undefined. So is there any chance that we're calling a variable that has no value?
There is one that's hanging on line 60, but we're reassigning it once we meet a condition on line 64 or 67. But I'm gonna log it out just to make sure on line 70, just to make sure we get something like assigned to the she loves me not variable. So
Yes.
I'm gonna run it real quick and see what we get. So yeah, we definitely get undefined. So maybe there's a typo here, but I don't see.
I know what we could do. Give me one. We could do like a run through of our code together to see where we might catch the error at.
I got you right now. I know exactly what to do with that. You ever did the debugger deal?
Exactly. I've never done the debugger view actually. No.
All right, so I'm gonna just debugger. That's a good call. So I'm going to click on debugger. I'm gonna run it in the terminal, right? So you should see like a second thing pop up, like a second terminal window.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, damn it. Yep. One of them says Ash shared, and the other one says Java, I think, script.
Yeah.
Coding challenges.
Right. Okay. You see me typing?
Yep.
Okay, bet. All right, bet. So give me a sec. Let me just get to the right directory. This is probably something hella small that we're missing. But it's like, bro, really? We didn't catch that? But who knows? All right, so node, Eddie, submit tab. All right, the debugger should be running. I don't need my counter right now. Do you see it? The kind of the debugger layout running?
Yep. Okay, on the left, I see the variable, local. This is actually pretty sick. I have never used the debugger before.
Yeah, I love that's my favorite too. Whenever I like instead of making guesses and shit, I go right. After a while, I just kind of go right to it. All right, so I'm gonna run it through. I'm on line 61. She loves me not gets initiated to undefined. Okay, so maybe I need to define it as an empty string or something, maybe at first. But let's see. In this case, is 6 being passed in, so we should pass this block and go right to the else. And in theory, she loves me not should have been assigned that number. Phrases. Okay, so it didn't reassign that variable, so it's still undefined.
Okay, so
we narrowed it down.
I have some good news. I was able to pass the test cases with the Python, so at least on a logical level,
it's working.
I understand. Yeah, we are. Let me look at your code now one more time. Yeah. Let me get a better view of it because right now I'm sharing the CodeWars screen with the Visual Studio. Right, and function how much I love. Let's take a look here.
I'm gonna go back to the regular terminal and run it again while you're looking at it.
All right, so all right, check this out. I think it might just be a small mathematical issue. Can I actually do something with you now?
Yeah, what's up?
Actually, we could do this after we do this coding challenge. When we finish the coding challenge, we'll talk about it. Okay?
Oh, like a refactor or something? Or just...
No, I wanted to just kind of use GitHub or use Git in order to version control the code so that any changes we make, we could revert right back to.
Oh, okay.
But I also don't want to that's like a whole nother thing. So for now, that's why I'm saying we could do that after. So let me see, NB pedals, number of phrases. So here, let me look at, if I take a look at my solution, so my initial solution did not work and I had to make a few tweaks, and those few tweaks were something that I did not consider up until literally a minute ago. So one of those tweaks is actually going to be where we define our index, where we do our modulus. So take a look at your line 60 for a second.
Okay, I see it.
All right. Remember that we needed to make sure we do a certain something to the pedals every time we compare it to the array. We failed to do it on this line.
Okay. So phrases to capture, we got MB pedals, which is 7 or 6 in this case.
Well, you see how you see what you just did in your brain in half of a second. The computer doesn't think like that.
Yeah.
So think back to what you just said. You said it's 7, but it's actually 6. How do you represent that in code? Just make the offset.
For MB pedals, you mean?
Yeah. So MB pedals and then subtract 1.
But aren't we doing that here though? Like at the end, we're doing the subtract 1.
Yeah, but check this out. This is the initial phrase to capture. This is like the main event. This has to be the most accurate for every other instance of where it talks about that variable to be accurate.
Gotcha.
I see what you're saying, that you're minusing 1 right here. Does that do the same thing? Let me see. So it looks like I had to still do that. Let's just give this a shot, okay? Do NB pedals -1.
Okay.
On that line, on line 60. And then I also noticed another situation that at least we needed to take into account. So notice that we have 2 math operations here. We have modulo and we have leave that there for now.
Give me 1 sec. Hold on. I don't want to go crazy. Not at all. Okay. There we go.
All right. So
I think it's working now, bro.
Oh, you already ran it and it worked?
Yeah, like if you go back to the shell.
Yeah. The shell.
Yeah, our terminal. For 6, it's being returned. Well, actually, yeah, the return statement is actually working now. So what you said is correct. Like it's just like the arithmetic was being done in the wrong place.
Exactly. It's all about scoping. So since this is a higher scope, you got to make sure that this is on point before you refer it to another position, you know? So I realized that myself when I was running it, and because I had failed a few test cases the first few times I tried. And then I realized like, the issue is that I'm not offsetting it in the right spot.
Yeah.
You see?
I was doing it in the actual, like the reference to the array. Like I was trying to reference the array and do the arithmetic inside the referencing, like in here, which apparently doesn't work for whatever reason. But let's see. So that has to be done before, which is it looks like it's working. Let's just run it real quick. Let me try again.
Yeah, I'm gonna try also.
Boom. Let me get these debuggers out of here. Okay. Why is it still undefined?
Still undefined?
Yeah, it's weird.
Alrighty. It's cool. We're going to figure this out. So I'm going to go ahead and type. You're on JavaScript, right?
Yeah. It's weird because I'm returning it here too, and it's getting not at all. Like it's getting the right.
It happens. I'm going to see. Go ahead. Well, test. My output says passed 0, failed 1, exit code 1. NB, it logged for me NB pedal 7 and undefined. Expected undefined to equal I love you, but instead I got undefined. All right, cool. So let's see. You know what? How about this? Check this out. Believe it or not, let me know what you think about this. But sometimes I find it easier, ironically, to just start over.
Yeah.
Right? So I think if we start over, we might have a better chance of understanding what it could be. Because we have so much logic, unless we go one by one and try to find out.
So if you notice, yes, I agree. And it's just happening for the test case of when MB pedals is greater than number of phrases, because it works fine for when it's less than like 4 and 6 we get the right answers, but for 7 it's not working. We get undefined. So if I run it, we get undefined. Okay. So that first if statement is, we got to change something, I think.
Okay, so let's see. The first if statement says NB petals. Try now.
Okay, let me run it. I still get undefined. NB petals.
The other one.
Number of phrases. Interesting. We're getting 7 because it works for 4 and 6. That's in the case that it's less than. But when it's greater than, we're doing the modulus, right? Do we do 1? Let me try something. Oh wait, no. But it's getting undefined. Number of petals greater than number of phrases. Let me just put this back here. Not at all. We got not at all, which is the last one. Is that right? Last one then? Undefined. No. All right. Yeah, so it's just that one that's a little weird.
All right, I'm going to see if I can try to write it. Okay, so what I'm doing now is, let me go ahead and copy this.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything particularly unique. This is our exact code. Okay. I'm just kind of starting it over just because I find sometimes that, like, for whatever reason, when you rewrite the code, after you've failed or like after you've tried and something incredibly minor is the issue, if you just write it over, I don't know why the problem solves itself. So this is everything that you've mentioned. So this is going to represent, this is the list of phrases. Okay. This represents the number of phrases. So that's going to be 6 in this case because there's 6 items in the list. If the number of petals minus 1 is greater than the number of phrases, that's what this line of code says. The index will be the modulus of the petals, of the number of petals minus 1 and number of phrases. And then we're going to return the phrases at the index captured above in line 108. All right, so this is going to be return and what's the name of my phrases at index. In any other case, I would just like to return, and I'm going to return this right here. The phrases at that index, the phrases at that particular index. And something that I realized I had to do, I think I had to do this because of order of operations. So like, if I do not include parentheses around this, I think that the math is going to think, do 1 modulus num phrases first, and then subtract NB petals by that, and I think that that's the reason why we might be getting values that we're not expecting. So I'm going to include parentheses around this just in case, and I don't know this for a fact, I'm just speculating. And I'm going to include parentheses here just in case as well. And I think all is well. Let me just triple check. What is the issue with this that I have to close it? Say no more. Okay, and what is up with that? What is that? What is that? Okay, so that's just extra. Okay, this is a really ugly looking function, but see if you copy and paste this and this works.
All right. Test. That passed, yeah.
Oh, right, cool. Okay, so I think what it could have been is the order of operations. So let's go to your code real quick.
Right.
Where's your code?
I have to comment it out.
Okay.
So
and let's go right here. Yup.
Yeah.
Yeah. See if that was the problem.
So let me just run it locally first.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me run this one. Not at all.
Oh,
Nice. Order of goddamn operations. Screw you.
freaking PEMDAS, man. We got destroyed by PEMDAS.
We got demolished by PEMDAS. It passed. Oh, you the man, Elvis. Bet. All right. Note to self: don't forget about PEMDAS. I feel like I've done this a million times with PEMDAS. Like I always, but like, yo, that was just something so small. I could have sworn it was something to do with the return. I was typo or something like that. But yeah, that makes total sense. Do the thing in the operation in the parentheses first, and everything after that you do. So that's perfect. Let me just attempt it to make sure that no other tests are failing, and we good money.
Awesome, man.
And
let me give you the Python solution too, just so you can go ahead and copy that and get some extra points, bro. Since we did the work together.
But yeah, let me scroll down so I can see your Python here. Let me comment out your.
I'm not sure if the one that's there is the one that passed, so I'm gonna just go ahead and copy that did. I just don't remember. Where's the one I wrote?
I think we commented out. It's like I can uncomment it out for you just so you can see it. There it is.
All right, cool.
Line 80.
Got you. So I'm gonna go ahead and do one of those. To do multi-comment in JavaScript, it's is it that?
What do you mean by multi-comment?
Oh, that was hella false. To write like multiple line. Oh yeah. It's actually like so multiple line comments.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah. I just highlight the whole thing and just.
What the heck did I just? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw like some weird math symbol show up.
I don't even know how I did that, but that was kind of cool. All right, so I'm trying to figure that out right now. So this opens it, and no, this looks like the closer. I just confused myself. Okay, all right. You know what? I'm making another comment section.
Or you just command question, like highlight and just hit command question mark.
Dude,
yeah.
Facts, max mark.
There you go.
Oh my god, bro.
Bro, what are you doing?
All right, there we go. I was struggling so hard, man.
PEMDAS and commenting destroyed us today.
Dude, I was gonna write Python solution, Elvis and Eddie CodeWars.
Nice.
Here. All right, cool.
All right. But I'm definitely gonna copy that in there in a little bit. I'm wondering if I want to shorten this a little bit.
I'm down.
Yeah, refactor the if statement to cut it down to that ternary operator I was talking about earlier. I'm trying to get better at that too. But yeah, man, that was dope. Definitely, this whole order of operations did the trick. That was really nice. So
yeah, it's nice to know that the problem was smaller than what you thought it was, because then it makes you realize, okay, sometimes maybe I overthink it. You know?
Yeah, for real.
It's always a good feeling when the problem is smaller than what we thought, because then we know that we expect more of ourselves. You know what I mean? And that's always a good thing.
Yeah, that is a fact. So
you'll never forget now. I know that for a fact, man. I feel like you're gonna go to interviews now, and when they go, oh, yeah, did you ever struggle particularly? You're gonna be like, bro, that PEMDAS though. Let me tell you something.
Yeah. It's super simple. Like, and the thing is, like, I've always, I usually account for it. You know, like different situations. Like, it's just my mind is and just some days I just literally just forget about that damn thing. It's like and it tends to like get you. Smallest things.
It's okay. That's literally what the practice is all about. Once you like go through the problems enough times, they start to become like second nature problems. Like I said, I highly doubt from here on forth you're gonna ever deal with PEMDAS problems.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna always pay special attention.
Yeah, for sure. Wait, we spent like 30 minutes on that. 45 minutes on that.
You're gonna be like, all my parentheses in the right spot. This is why am I getting undefined? But it's always reassuring to know that it was us that was mistaken and not the actual software.
That is a fact. But I'm just testing the last one here, make sure this works.
What's up, bro? Did you already convert it to the ternary?
I did. Line 62. So I'm gonna I'll leave it. Yeah.
Alright. Can I do a ternary Python equivalent right underneath?
Go for it. Do you know how to do it? I don't know how to do it.
This is a good opportunity to show you. It's actually, you already know how to do it in JavaScript. So honestly, it's the same type of logic. So this one is like a do this, if this, else do that in one line, right?
Okay.
So in your case, you're saying, the way I read this is, here's condition A, here's condition B. And what the hell, dude? Can you explain this?
Yeah. So this is the condition. Yeah. So if whatever this amounts to, whether it's true or false, if it's true, do this thing over here. This whole thing. Otherwise,
okay.
after these, what do you call these again? Not semicolon. Colon, yeah.
No, yeah.
Otherwise, do this. The last part.
Gotcha. Okay. So, all right. I just wasn't understanding that this was one big block of all right, cool.
Yeah.
So basically in Python, you think of the parts, right? And in Python, it's A if true, else B.
Okay. A if true, right? Else B. Gotcha.
So basically, what's the first one right here? Boom. Right. So that would be A. If true, else, and then B, which would be this right here.
But where's the condition then? Part go.
Right.
If true.
Oh, my bad. Did I say if true? I meant to say if. Did I just write if true like that?
Yeah.
I meant to put this right here.
Okay. Oh, it goes in the middle?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I literally tell my students it's a data sandwich.
A data sandwich. Yo, that's a neat way to think about it.
And literally, that's all I could think about when I see it's a data sandwich. Bro, you have your two, like you have your A and your B, and then your condition in the middle. So the condition's the patty, and your two possible outcomes are like the bread. You know, it's like
Fire.
A sandwich.
Fire. Oh yeah, so, I never thought about it that way. I mean, I never seen it done this way. This is interesting.
That's why when I the JavaScript version, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Man, yeah.
Dude, I almost lost my crap because I was like, I was trying, right? I was like, "All right, cool. So you got yourself a condition. Oh, okay, a question." And then I saw this equal sign, and I was like, "Yo, hold up. What the hell? Why is there a colon and another equal sign?" I was like, "Yo, what's going on right now? I'm scared."
Yeah.
Oh, but I get it. It makes mad sense. Basically, the condition goes first,
right?
And then you have a question mark saying, what will it be? If it's the first, if it's true, return the first thing. If it's false, return the second thing.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's the same components. It's just structured differently.
Right. Pretty much. Yeah. That's fine. Cool, man. This is a lot of fun. I feel like we gained. We did our thing here. I mean, there's nothing else really we solved all the answers, right? I'm going to paste the Python version in, get my little extra couple of points. He taught me some Python too, you know what I'm saying? So, where's your Python solution? 105, right? All right, let me see some. Hold up. I want to see, I'm just going to read the Python version. I know it's a little ugly because like this is a JavaScript file, but so just since we're in the Python conversation, 106 says def is like a function. You name it. Okay, same deal. Just like JavaScript. All right, so that part is like weird to me that you don't have to like declare so like a variable keyword.
Yep, but straight up just write the name of the variable you want.
Yeah, so that's interesting. But there's still memory because I mean memory allocation because the word phrases has to.
Correct.
Yeah,
yes, yeah. It still registers as a variable. It still goes to a space in memory. You just don't have to declare the scope because Python uses indentation.
That's scope.
And the exactly. So it automatically does the scope. So you don't need to say let or whatever. That's why JavaScript, when you code it, you can make it look ugly. And as long as everything is in the right order, it's cool. Python though, like for example, if you do that, it's gonna be like, no sir, that does not exist. I got a problem with you. Like it's insane. So like Python it has its drawbacks and its benefits.
So Okay, I get it. So you guys don't deal with the whole let, const, what's the other one? var issue. For you, scoping has to do with indentation, hella clear. Oh, I mean, everything else looks pretty much familiar. Like all of the if statement looks very familiar, just like JavaScript. There's an else involved here. For me, I like this, to be honest. Although I'm used to like the squiggly brackets, curly braces, but I kind of like the way this looks. It's just less.
I know you would, because you're the type that you think like Python thinks. You organize your stuff in like hierarchies, and you lay it out in very scriptish format. And Python, the reason why a lot of people like Python, or like one of the reasons Python is like one of, JavaScript is as well, one of the top languages right now, is because of the fact that it's, you see how you thought JavaScript was like semi-easy as a language, like Python literally is even technically easier, like, because like you just said, you don't even have to say var or let, you just freaking make up names and throw data at it, and it'll know what to do.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, man. And as we solve problems together, I'll be happy to solve it alongside you in Python, so that like you can see your solution and just see how it's solved in Python, and just kind of like notice that this is what I tell my students. It's like programming fundamentals is the same across all languages. Nice. The only difference between the languages, because logic is logic. At the end of the day, a for loop iterating through a list is a for loop iterating through a list. Whether you told me it in C++, Java, JavaScript, Python, Go, it doesn't matter. Telling me to iterate through a list with a for loop is the fundamentals of programming. So if you know how to use that logic of fundamentals, and you can apply it to many languages, and you'll notice like, yo, these languages are like 90% the damn same for the most part. Like, there's like minor things that are different. Like for example, look, the string looks you could tell this is a string. Mm-hmm. You could tell that this is a list. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing in JavaScript. Maybe this could have thrown you off. Like you would have been like, yo, what the hell is that? It doesn't have like any words in front of it or something. Maybe. But like you said, the if statement, like, come on. Besides, like you said, the squiggly line, it's pretty much the same exact thing.
Yeah, the curly braces, yeah. Oh yeah, you know what? I didn't even notice what do you call these? Colons, right?
Yep.
Colons. Yeah. So I didn't even notice that. That's like
very important. Yeah, if you don't have it, Python gonna be like, yo, bro, what you talking about?
Okay. Yo,
like,
so
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm down with that, man. Like I'm down with. So like next time we meet up, you drive, you solve it in Python, because I'm trying to learn Python, so I can take this as an opportunity. So like, we're solving coding challenges and we're learning that, but also like I can learn Python a little more because you're solving in Python. You know what I'm saying?
I could definitely teach you Python, bro.
Yeah, in the form of this too, because like this is like I could, and then maybe the third time we meet will be my turn to drive. I'll try to solve in Python. Like I just wing it.
I like that idea a lot, actually. And if we stay within the AQ, I think that it's very possible for you to solve a problem in Python within 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, it'll be my first one. But yeah.
Yeah, bro.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, man. So next week, same time?
Yeah, same time. Yeah, I want to keep them a week apart. I need some room to like interview and do some other things I got lined up. But yeah, next week we can do the same time. We can even do let's just connect. Let's just keep it open. You know what I'm saying? Because like something come up for you.
Absolutely, bro. Listen, I'm trying to work all day, bro. I'm not trying to chill. So
right,
if you want to keep doing pair programming or whatever, I'm down. Is this going on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm gonna. So again, I'm gonna edit stuff, but for the most part, the core of it is gonna be just like us being real and like I'll be honest, a lot of the cursing is gonna stay, but because that's like I can't cut out a lot of those words sometimes. Like it's within us explaining like, oh man, what the fuck is going on here? Like I'm gonna keep that. You know what I'm saying? It's us.
I have no shame in my language.
Me either. But like
if anything, people know that that's just how I am.
Word. That's us. That's just the real.